Welcome to 2023. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I am so excited about this video in particular because I feel like it's really like a foundation video that you could use every single day of your life in the next 12 months. So please pay attention to this. Watch this from beginning to end. I'm going to get to the point, and I would love you to take notes on this because I guarantee it's going to help you, right? So first and foremost, before we start, please make sure you subscribe to my channel because I have noticed that 93% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. I know I'm making a bit of a comeback this year, trying to do a regular session, and I want to keep it up, but I will keep it up if you will subscribe. So please do that. I'm aiming to get it down to 50% of subscribers like watching my channel. You know, from 93% of my channel viewers are not subscribers. I want to get that down to 50%. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's get straight to it. Now, how does someone have a good year every year? Like if I look back in my year right now, 2022, just gone, I honestly can say I've had a great year, but I can say that about 2020. I can say that about 2021. I can say that about whatever year, good, bad, and ugly. Every year, at the end of the year, I always look back at it and think, what an amazing year. Thank you for what an amazing year, you know, and I honestly am grateful at that point. So how is that possible? Most people looking into my life or other successful people's lives who say they've had a great year, you might be thinking, oh, what does that mean? You had no problems? Maybe you just avoided all problems. Maybe you just, you know, managed to have every single day all rosy and sunshine and flowers. And the answer is no, of course not. There are huge problems in everybody's life. And in fact, the higher you go in your life, the bigger the problems. You know, that's old statement, more money, more problems. It is true. I'm not going to lie to you. That doesn't mean that you have to have a bad day or you know, a bad year. The reason I can continuously have a good year no matter what happens is because I'm great at solving problems. So let's focus on those areas. There are going to be 3 areas that will give you problems in your life in 2023, and these 3 areas are the ones that you need to focus on and master. The problems in life tend to be statistically proven, and you will agree with me, I promise: money, relationships, and health. Those 3 things tend to destroy people. You know, if you have a problem in money, gosh, imagine like divorce, bankruptcy, litigation, I don't know, whatever. Some people just can't handle that pressure. So that's the first area we're going to talk about. Number 2, relationships. If you have, you know, the people that are closest to you, your friends and your family, the closest ones, not like the acquaintances, not like your other random people that maybe know you from social media. Those people, yeah, they can still be quite nasty to you, don't get me wrong. If you're an influencer and they want to try and make your life a misery, they can try. But the ones that really get to you are not them. The ones that will really get to you are those closest. Your relationship, if you're in one, your parents, your siblings, and that kind of, and your best friends. You know, the friends are the family you choose for yourself. When people have problems in those areas, that also makes or breaks them, right? So that's another area we need to talk about. And then number 3, health. Your health is in 2 areas. Obviously, you know this: your physical health and your mental health. And I'll be honest, today's world we live in, the mental health is the biggest challenge. So I'm going to cover all these 3 areas. How do we get past these problem areas? How can you have a successful 2023, knowing that you're going to have problems in your money, your relationships, and your health? Or how do we make sure that we can overcome the problems in money, relationships, and health? So let's talk about number 1, money. Money is this tool that everybody that comes to Fortune Academy because they want to make more money, right? I am known as the individual that helps people become millionaires, multimillionaires, if they go to my Monte Carlo retreat, if they go to my millionaire mindset coaching, etc. If they do my trading programs, they become successful, they make more money. I've had people who come from all backgrounds do this. Now, my point is this: money isn't going to fix problems if you haven't got a good relationship with it. Okay, so the first way to look at money is stop making it bigger than you. Imagine this is money, right? And this is me. I'm going to put this as a pencil, me. Most people are like this. Money is above them. They make money this overpowering, super powerful, like, you know, thing that they feel like they're dangling on a string, and everything that money says or does, they just have to like be a slave to it. You know, so some people, for example, get jobs or careers just for the money. I know I did that. When I first started as an optician, I did it just for the money, for the stability. And I get it. It's not a bad decision, but it's bad if you stay in that point in your life when you know you're doing it just for the money. Life is a misery. It was so depressing working just for money, nothing else. Like there was no excitement in my life. So when you make money bigger than you, you're always losing. The key is to work on yourself and your relationship with money so that you become bigger than money. So you control how much you want. If you want, £10,000 a month, you know how to learn how to make 10,000 a month. If you want 100,000, you do 100,000, but it requires you working on yourself. So the first thing about money is stop making it such a big deal. Like, look, you've got to love yourself without money. So this bit is really hard. Most people don't like themselves. If they stripped everything bare, they don't like who they are. If they had no money, no status, no power, no anything, if you had to be starting from scratch, you'd be like, I don't know if I like myself, because a lot of people only get attached to what money can do for them. So that's a huge, huge area that you need to master. How do you get bigger than money? First, have a spiritual outlook on it, that money is just a tool. You have to really work on that self-esteem, right? So self-esteem is the key here. Work on that self-esteem, like yourself without money. You are bigger than money, but don't hate money either. So it's a very sensitive relationship. If you hate money, you'll never have it. But money is just a tool. It's been created by human beings because it was a very easy way to barter. Before money, there was cows and all sorts of, bartering objects that we used as human beings. So you can just Google what was before money. They used gold coins. Before gold, what did they use? They used cattle, they used camels, they used all sorts of things to barter with. Money became a digital thing now more than anything, and it's just a way for us to measure success. So don't hate on it, right? Just enjoy the game. It is really a game, and that's why I like using something like this as an example, because it's just this spongy little ball that you can do whatever you like with, right? If you want a lot, you'll get a lot, but you have to have a relationship with money that you're not scared of having none, but you're not scared of being bigger than this thing, right? So please don't make money such a big deal. It is not better than you. Right now, if you really want to work on this relationship, I know I just opened a can of worms here because this conversation is deep. It's a very spiritual one. I have to go right into your subconscious relationship with money and tell you exactly where it came from and where your restrictions are here. But I do work on this in my Millionaire Mindset coaching. So if you're really interested, click on the link below, answer a few questions about yourself. It's just a free questionnaire, and my team will give you an email or like an event. When we have our next free event on something related to Millionaire Mindset training, you will be invited. So make sure you click on that link and answer the questions. Right, number 2, relationships. Same thing happens here. The key of everything is the relationships you have in your life are attracted like a mirror to you. So if you are a person that has strong self-esteem, that demands, that respects themselves enough to demand respect from others, you will have a relationship that demands respect. It's a two-way street. If you belittle yourself and completely people please, if you're a people pleaser, like, oh, I know I hate going to their house, but I'm just going to go, and I hate being nice to them, but I'm just going to be nice to them because I want them to make me that I want them to say, well done, Hither, and you've been such a great, I don't know, sister or niece or whatever, and you keep belittling your game. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna talk about what I'm trying to achieve in life because they won't like it. I'm gonna make them feel intimidated, so I'll just keep it to myself. Little things like that. People who people please too much, they end up having very negative relationships because they're not authentic. So all I'm going to say to you is, if you are, it's so hard for me to sometimes realize how negative relationships work, but I've had so many bad ones in the past because my self-esteem has been a problem in the past. And therefore I've worked on myself for 20 years. And where I am now, I don't have any hesitation in creating boundaries if needed. So if someone is giving me bad attitude, disrespectful, instantly, like, it's not even like, it doesn't take me a second to say, whoa, put a barrier up here, this person is toxic, do not get too close. And it's not like a hatred. So the thing about creating boundaries with people And that's what I'm encouraging you to do, right? So be conscious of what relationships are helping you feel good about yourself without the validation though, right? So you don't need validation. You want to build your self-esteem so that you feel good about yourself, first and foremost. But second, don't allow others to put you down. If they try and knock you off a peg or two, then you've got to be aware, why are they doing that? They're doing that because some people love to make a living, you know, metaphorically speaking, out of tearing others down. They're so unhappy in their life that they just cannot do anything else other than tear you down. And if that's you, whether it's in your family, your relationships, I don't know, your work, then you need to put the boundaries in place that you don't allow bad behavior. And that has to be done in a way, to do it properly, you don't hold any hate or judge or resentment, that's a better word. You don't hold any resentment towards a person, because you've got to understand, why are they doing this? They're acting up or playing up because they're in a bad place themselves. Now, it's not your responsibility to fix them, okay? You're not their parent, and parents need to stop doing that to kids after a certain age. But you as an adult, and one adult to another, your job is not to fix somebody else. You can only inspire change, but you need to protect yourself with boundaries. So relationships are a big factor here. Respect yourself enough, and others will also respect you. Big area. So please put that into perspective right now, for the rest of your life, for the rest of your year. Every single day, be conscious of the conversations you're having with people and say, how did that make me feel? Did they make me feel good about life? Are we celebrating, or are we feeling negative and shrinking in our ability? Have I just felt really anxious after that conversation? And if the latter is occurring, you know that company was not healthy for you. So that's really, really important to be aware of, but also be aware of your insecurities. If someone triggers an insecurity in you, welcome that. You know, like seriously, if you've got an insecurity and somebody makes you feel little because they're talking high of themselves, that's not their fault, that's your fault. You know, if someone is shining really bright in life, but you feel jealous and envious, that's an insecurity in you that you need to work on. So be aware of this. And again, I've just opened up another can of worms here. These 3 areas I'm going to talk about are huge. Money, huge. It could need so much more coaching on that topic, right? Same with relationships. If you're having any problem with getting those boundaries in place, maybe you need someone to coach you to work on those boundaries, you know, to create the boundaries and not feel that guilt, because that's a big one that people struggle with. They have guilt. Once they put a boundary around someone, they feel so much guilt. Oh my God, but they're family. Oh, but they're this, but I've always treated them that way, or they've always treated me this way. And if I change that, I think it's going to be really difficult. The most toughest decisions are made in the areas closest to you. So relationships matter. It could be in your workplace, it could be in your home, it could be in your family, it could be in your friend circle. So please don't underestimate that, please. Third, last but not least, health. And I've said health comes in 2 areas, right? Your physical health and your mental health. Physical health, gosh, I can't say it enough. If you haven't got good physical health, no amount of money is ever going to make you happy, right? You can buy as much stuff as you possibly want. It won't replace the bad health. You know, arguably, yes, you've got more money, you've got better healthcare, but you know, it gets to a point in your life when you really think, shit, no amount of money will fix this. And there is going to be a point in your life when you are not going to be able to fix your bad health. And that's life, I know. But the point is, just make sure you don't cause bad health into your life. If you can avoid it naturally as possible, as much as possible, if you can avoid having bad health, then I would suggest you really look after yourself a little better, you know? So that is, like, it just goes without saying, it's part of my peak performance routine. I eat healthy, I drink clean, like I don't have alcohol, you know, if I do, it's like once or twice a year. It's hardly ever a thing. I hate it. You know, if I could do without doing it at all, I would be a very happy person. Probably my aim for this 2023. And then I have never done drugs. I'm super proud of that. Never smoked. I'm super proud of that. So, you know, those type of things are a no-no. So look after your health. Now, when it comes to mental health, this is the area I wanted to stop on, because I have to remind you, 2023 is going to be a big recession year. It's going to be a historic year for negative news. We live in a world where history is being created every second. We've hit the highest peaks of wealth. And therefore, when there is a dip in the market, it's going to be the biggest dip in the market. You know, like the recession is going to be the biggest dip in recession. And the news that is constantly, we are so connected these days, which is a good thing, can be a bad thing, because sometimes we get thrown all sorts of misleading information from news outlets, good, bad, and ugly news outlets that make you feel very insecure about your finances, about your future, about your life, health, everything. So you've got to note that most people are not very educated or enlightened to this fact. And most people are actually suffering some sort of mental illness, some sort of, you know, low-level form, anxiety levels. Anxiety is off the scale these days because we're dopamine addicted human beings, right? A mobile phone is literally ruining a lot of people's mental health. If you're watching, like, I don't even use TikTok. I refuse to use something like that because that social media is designed and it's been proven scientifically to create more anxiety, because watching short form videos and constantly flicking through like constant, you know, even if you're scrolling on Instagram and you're following nonsense, you've got to be conscious of what you're following and make sure every nugget of information coming at you is a positive or healthy one. If you've just got stuff that's triggering and weird, wonderful nonsense, even like the celeb news and all that kind of nonsense, that is very bad for your mental health, because it actually, one, makes you dumber. You know, I'm keeping the language really simple here. It makes you scientifically less intelligent and increases anxiety. So how is that a good thing? I refuse to use things like TikTok, even though they're all the rave, and, you know, I just protect my mental health too much. So my point is this: most people, not necessarily you, but most people are suffering from mental health forms of illnesses, anxiety to bipolar to something stronger. And those people are negative as a default. They're not going to be positive thinking individuals. They're not going to be the kind of people that you want to be around with. So it's a shame. It's a huge shame. It is going to be so prevalent in a time like 2023 that your job now is to filter out, using what I said before, the relationships, you know, like, are these people healthy? Are they making me have are we celebrating life, or are we discussing things that are really negative? Are they making me feel like I should just shrink? And that's what you've got to be conscious of. Keep away from the mentally ill, I'll be very honest, you know, and I see so many of them, and they're very vindictive people that will want to tear others down. You only have to study how, you only have to look at some celebrities post, you know, like, when I say celebrity, I'm talking about Elon Musk type of individuals, and see how much hatred that individual gets. There are some people that are dedicated to just hating, you know. So if you, anyone, even if they're trying to do good in the world, there'll be tons of people trying to tear them down. And those kind of people are just so ill. Like, it's human beings as a default, right? We can't prevent them. It happened throughout our lives, but keep away from them. Don't get sucked into their negative behavior, because that is addictive. It is actually a feel good for someone to feel like they're gaining little brownie points by pulling someone down. It's very dangerous for you to be around someone like that, because they will just, their dream crushes. So in 2023, we're going to get more people that are mentally ill because they're more depressed because of the lack of money. They're reading all the wrong news. They're reading everything that the government's telling them, that people are like spending less, or like haven't got enough money to have good times, and getting more depression. They're struggling. More people are dying. More people are getting ill. Like, you can just read a news channel and they'll tell you that on a regular basis. So please be a bit more educated about this. And I don't want you to get sucked into the negativity. That's why I'm saying this. So I appreciate that you've listened. If you've watched to this point, I really, really appreciate it. I honestly want you to master those three areas: money, relationship, and your health. Those three areas are going to give you curveballs throughout the year 2023. So I'm not here to pretend and say, oh, it's going to be an amazing year. If you like do XYZ, nothing will ever go wrong. I'm telling you, you will have relationship issues, money issues, health issues in some form, little blips, but it doesn't have to be the end of your happy days. It will just have to be a way for you. What you've got to do now is work on that relationship with money, work on the relationship with your on the relationship with your relationships and work on your health so that you know how to overcome little curveballs. So I don't see them as problems, I see them as curveballs. Something comes into, don't let money break you, don't let relationships break you, don't let your health overcome you, because health is a scary one, especially mental health. So I want you guys to look after yourselves better, look after all of those three areas a lot better than you have done in 2022, and use a coach. Honestly, if you need help on these areas, this is what I do in the Millionaire Mindset, just so you know. This is what we do. Like, I work on this. That's why I've got people come to Monte Carlo. We're so excited to see them next week. You will see. I'll put a video out on that, I promise. But my point is, honestly, when I was thinking about how can I help someone get through this year really well, it was no magic. It was just simple facts. Be good at these three areas. And if you are, you will really, really do well. And every year, then you'll be able to say, just like I can, every end of the year, I can say, what a great year. Because I'm so grateful, that I know how to get over these problems. I don't say I don't have problems. I say I'm so good at getting over these problems that it doesn't break me. So I'm giving you tons and tons of good luck here. I really wish you have an amazing year. And I wish I work with you in some capacity, in some form. Come to my free events. If you click on the link below, you will get onto my mailing list, whereby you will get notified of my next free event. That's no strings attached, because you can see what I do, whether it's in a trading workshop, in a Millionaire Mindset workshop, whatever. And then we can have a Q&A, you can ask me questions, and I can answer them for you. So very excited. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to go now. Happy 2023. I genuinely can't wait to see what it brings for you guys. And comment below if you've got any topics that you want me to cover. Every week I put out a video on a Sunday, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy the content, because I really am thinking of all the things I can do to help you guys. So thank you once again for being an amazing viewer, audience member. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.